Hey guys, welcome in. This is a lecture for biology while we're doing online. A couple things you'll need to notice is first, these are going to be compacted into really small, tight, less than 5 minute videos. Each of those videos is going to have pass off questions. That's why it looks like a quiz, but it's really just you watching my lecture, following along, and making sure you can answer the questions about it. So it basically is taking the place of where classroom notes would have been. So feel free to come back and watch these whenever you need to. You get unlimited attempts on these pass offs, so just make sure you take it enough times until you get that 100%. After each of these, there will sometimes be videos. I'll let you know if those videos are required, but either way, most of them are pretty short, so you should probably just watch all of them just to kind of give yourself more information, a little deeper information that I'm not going to go into on these videos to try to keep them really short. Okay, so we're starting on the theory of evolution. Basically, this is the cornerstone of biology. All life science is based off of evolution. It's the theory that we use to base everything else off for the most part. So this modern theory is based off of hundreds, I guess we could say, years of peer-reviewed, high-quality scientific studies and based on tons and tons of factual evidence, and that's why it's become such a cornerstone. Everything that's ever come up, when we realized when we could start doing epidemiology, embryology, all of this stuff supported the theory of evolution and was added to it to make it even stronger. Genetics was another thing. Once we found out how these genes have, it actually strengthened how everything was coming together. It strengthened the theory of evolution. And so at this point, the modern definition is evolution is a change in the genetic makeup of a population of organisms. So just really important, it's not about the phenotypes, it's about genotypes when we're talking about evolution. And it's not about the individual organism. That's another common misconception. It's about the populations. So again, that's a group of organisms living in the same area. If that population changes what genes are in the gene pool, then we have evolution. Okay, so how do we measure this? Good, that we have to measure it, right? It's science. So in order for it to be good science, we have to be able to measure these changes. And what we do is we literally just figure out how many genes are in a gene pool. Sometimes we can do this by measuring how it's expressed in a phenotype. Let's see if I get this out of the way. Other times it's based off of literally taking DNA apart and counting little itsy bitsy pieces of it. So if we can count the gene pool, like here we can count this gene pool of their offspring, and we can see that there's one, two, three, four large bees and one, two, three, four small bees. That means the population percentage is 50-50. And if we take this parent generation, there's one, two big R's, one, two small R's, 50-50. Next generation, one, two, three, four big R's, one, two, three, four small R's, 50-50. And so there wasn't a change between this generation and this generation, means no evolution actually took place. Now, if we breed these together, we end up with a big R, a big R, a big R, a big R, four, a small r, a small r, a small r, a small r, four. That's again 50-50. So even though the expression of these genes can change, you have to actually be able to count the genes changing their percentage, not the number of them, the percentage of them. So here's an example of that. If you look at this first generation, you'll see that 50% of all of the genes in this gene pool are big A. There's 20 of them. Sorry, 10. I'll do my math better. The small A's, there's another 10 of them. So that's a 50-50 mix. Now, some pressure, in this case, they're calling them predators, but we're going to cover 5 different pressures in the next 5 lectures. Some type of pressure is going to affect that gene pool, so now there's a smaller number. So notice on this one, there's 14 uppercase A's and 6 lowercase a's. That means it changed to a 70% of the gene pool is made up of uppercase A's and 30% of lowercase a's. Since there was a change from one generation to the next, evolution occurred, and that's how we measure it. You can see it again from here to here, where we go to 100%. Sorry, to 80, what, 90, 10? Yeah, 90, 10. Again, that's different than 70, 30. So a change in the gene, a change in the gene pool occurred. So we have evidence of evolution. Okay.